Hello, my name is Marika Jang. I am Executive Director of Poe Baltimore and the Awards Administrator for the Saturday Visitor Awards, a new honor presented by Poe Baltimore and the Edgar Allan Poe House and Museum, recognizing a new generation of artists and writers inspired by Edgar Allan Poe. I'm so very pleased to welcome Peter James Billing, one of the nominees for the 2020 Saturday Visitor Awards, for his incredible piece, The Knocking of the Nails. And you perform also as Sinister McCobb.
Yes, yes.
True?
Well, hey, listen, thank you so much for the awards, and just being nominated is absolutely incredible. To have that level of acceptance for something you write with such a great group of people is out of this world. But yeah, Sinister Macabre is just like kind of a handle, like or like a pseudonym for this person I felt should read the poem. And I just think it really worked out well because I changed my voice for it. I didn't use any audio enhancements. I just kind of deepened it. I laid upside down on the couch, and so that way my throat, less my gullet, so I could have that voice, and it really worked out well. So yeah, thank you.
I'm picturing you upside down, hanging like a bat.
Nobody wants to do that. No, nobody wants to picture me upside down. So
That's incredible. Well, Sinister Macabre, what are the origins of Sinister Macabre?
Oh my gosh, I think that this poem itself has a story, but as far as writing itself, I always wrote since I was 10 years old. I mean, I used to have a pad and paper and write things down. And I remember my grandfather saying to me once, he goes like, Peter, he says, what are you doing there? And I says, we used to call him Granka. Granka, can I borrow your comb? Well, he was bald. And he says, do I look like I have a comb? So he grabs it and he writes, Peter, sit up, shut up, and put up, signed your enemy. The point is, from that point on, I really wrote all the time to express myself and read amazing things like Poe and Peter Benchley and some classics like the Jaws and things and King. But I think that what happened was over the years, the last 5 years, I kind of identified myself as a writer. I think that you find your voice late in life. At least I do. You have a lot of life ahead of you, and we all can't be as gifted as Edgar Allan Poe at that age. But this poem itself, Enrica, I got a great book from a friend. It was Pablo Neruda, his love poems, and on it, I mean, these are gorgeous. Like we can only wish to be at that level. I mean, you always got to learn, right? And it had the Spanish on one side and the English on the other. And so I read it. I loved it. It's a pink book and everything. I went to bed, and it's like one of those things that just happens. And in the middle of the night, I woke up and I saw this candelabra or candle, the brass one. And it was my mom, of all things, because I lost my parents young in life. And so she was going like this, like that. And it was just, very Poe-esque, if you want to look at that. And so I got up onto my computer and I wrote it from start to finish the way it is. And I don't know where it came from. And so I said that moment, when I had that, I said, this is just really, it feels good. And so here we are. So.
Oh, it's incredible. Well, you mentioned one of my favorite poets, Neruda, but no, it's wonderful. Can you tell me a little bit about another group that you work with, the Faculty of Wonderment?
Yeah,
Who are
yeah.
these incredible people that
Yeah,
you?
I'm a chatty Cathy doll, so you can tell. But I was going to say is the Faculty of Wonderment is a company that I used to be a general manager of a theater company, and I thought, I got to express myself creatively because I do music and write and act and direct film. So I thought, hey, the Faculty of Wonderment is a great umbrella that I can do my kids' books because I have the Road Hockey Crew is coming out this week. It's for tweenies, 11 and up, and it's a deeper read, right? And then what I can do with the Faculty Wonderment now is I can put my videos on it. I can put music, original music, poems. I can do voiceovers, and the group I have are a great group of cool people that I can call upon, on a moment's notice that I've done theater with. So what you see is a video, Enrique, that I had after the fact and handed it in, and it's just amazing. It's just great.
Well, very creative group of folks, and you to be the leader of this group, it's wonderful. To sort of give a background of this, Peter's piece, "Knocking of the Nails," was actually nominated on the strength of an audio performance of the poem itself. But then after the nomination, he gave us an opportunity to take a look at an actual video interpretation of the piece, which is with the Faculty of Wonderment. So just is incredibly creative thing. And so we will include a clip of this video with our interview as well, so that everybody can see it. And then, Peter, if you want to tell everybody where they can continue to find your work, or where they can see more of this collaboration with the Faculty of Wonderment.
Yeah, it's going to be at the facultyofwonderment.com. And then we have, that's where you can find the book, the writings, and I have a story coming out called The Dark Side of Benjamin Grime, and some other, it's all other mildly dark tales, it's called. And then so on TFOW Studio Moment is our, it's YouTube, and you can find everything on there. So it's all interlinked. And the video that I sent, I did an updated one, so you can put that on. But that's where you'll find us. And you have Chris Lansbury, all these other people, Anna Rosati Loff, and Ian, and Blair, my second hand. Like, we're just like joined at the hip, does the editing with me and everything, and we're just a great group. And Kitu did the main character, and he's got a lot of Robin Williams in him. If you look at him, he's got that like kind of like Good Will Hunting beard and everything. But yeah, you'll find us all there. And Ed Hoof plays Sinister McCobb. Plays Saint Cinder, and he's the Death's Death. He's a military man of death coming to get. Because there's a backstory to my video too. So yeah. But
Oh, that's exciting stuff. So just poetry, video, you're a writer, just an incredibly just creative individual, just really exciting stuff. We look forward to seeing all these new
thank you,
projects that you
thank you.
have going on. Thank you so much, and congratulations on your
Well, listen,
nomination.
thank you for doing this. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye bye. Thank you. Thanks.
Peter's such an awesome guy. If he's out there, hey Peter, how are you doing? Happy New Year, and Happy New Year to everybody out there in Poe land. Again, my name is Rika. I am the Executive Director of Poe Baltimore, the Edgar Allan Poe House and Museum in Baltimore, as well as the Awards Administrator for the Saturday Visitor Awards. Very excited to, I always get so excited whenever we get to see and talk to these wonderfully creative people who submitted these pieces, are inspired by Poe. Obviously, we're all together with a shared love of Poe, and it was a lot of fun to talk to everybody. So if you've had an opportunity to see some of the videos we've done in the previous weeks, or have not yet, you can see them in our video library here on Facebook or on YouTube. And then we have some more of these really great interviews coming up later this year. This is the first one of 2021. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you guys had really, really great weekend. Holiday weekend, end of 2020. Hello, it's brand new year, brand new day, hopefully, right? For all of us, for all of us. Well, this is a series to answer questions about the Saturday Visitor Awards, share with people how to enter, who, what, where, when, all the important dates, all the important information about the Saturday Visitor Awards. I'm going to start with some information that we share in all of the sessions, and things some folks might already know, some tips, quick frequently asked questions, answers about the Saturday Visitor Awards, and what to keep in mind now that we are 2 weeks away from the open call for entry. So dates to remember. Call for entry is for the Saturday Visitor Awards 2021, open on January 19th, Edgar Allan Poe's birthday. We're very excited, actually. A lot of really fun events in Poe happening that weekend, especially Poe Baltimore has been invited to be part of the program put on by the Poe Museum in Richmond for their wonderful birthday celebration. So that weekend, we've been invited to do just a brief sort of intro the way we're doing this now, talking about the Saturday Visitor Awards. And we're very, very pleased to welcome judges from the Poe Museum in Richmond onto the Saturday Visitor Awards board this year. So more information about the judges a little bit later in the year. May 30th will be the deadline to enter. So tonight I'm going to be sharing some of the questions and things to be thinking about as you think about the pieces that you're about to enter for the Saturday Visitor Awards, some things that you're going to be asked, but know that you have from January 19th to May 30th, deadline 11:59 p.m. on May 30th to enter your piece. After that, the awards are given over to the board, and nominees finally announced July 30th, just a couple of months before October 2nd, when Poe Fest International Saturday Visitor Awards are announced. So dates to remember, keep those in mind. Of course, that first one coming up very quickly. For more information about the Saturday Visitor Awards, just about anything about the awards you can find here, especially the entry guidelines. We're going over a little bit of this tonight, but if you want to really get into detail, we suggest you download those entry guidelines. They have been updated. There's a PDF you can download, or you can read them on the site. Other frequently asked questions available on the site, and send us your questions. If you have specific questions about your pieces, want to get in touch with the administrator, send me an email at contact@poefestinternational.org or through the portal on the Saturday Visitor Awards site. One thing we do ask is that even though we're here on Facebook answering questions, you can send your questions live right now. We do ask, please don't direct message or private chat your questions via social media. If you've got specific questions, send them via email or ask them tonight. And that's the best way to get a hold of us, because staff won't be able to answer those specific questions about your entries. But just some things to keep in mind. Two categories. I'm going to show a brief video that talks about what we're looking for in terms of these categories, but important to note, adaptations of Poe's life or works, or original works inspired by Poe. Let me find this video for these guidelines. And once again, the only correction from that video is the call for entries will open on Poe's birthday on January 19th. So we've still got a couple more days to get all of your materials together, get ready to enter. Now, those two categories that are talked about in the video here, adaptations of Poe's life or works, examples that are given, portraits, biography is included here because of the narrative nature of biography. However, it's important to note that the Saturday Visitor Awards are intended to recognize more artistic works rather than academic criticism. So people in academia or other criticism of Poe, perhaps this is not the awards category for you, but biography does fall here. And then a film or dramatic adaptation of Poe's works, even musical adaptations of Poe's works would fit here. Now, the second category, original works inspired by Poe. This is a much more wide-ranging category, of course, but the important thing to note is we really want you to draw a direct line from Poe to your piece. So where Poe appears as a character in film, novel, or play, or somebody from Poe's life or an episode in Poe's life appears in an original story, sequel, prequel, as the basis for original story. These two could fall in the original works category. And of course, poetry can fall here. And we've had some wonderful winners just last week. We interviewed, sat down with Tim Ritter. And then Sinister McCobb, the knocking of the nails, fell here. So some people are nervous about these categories because their piece might kind of skate back and forth. Ultimately is up to the judges. And we do tell folks that even if you do pick a category that perhaps doesn't quite fit, the judges will determine whether your category should be kicked over to the other category, and you won't lose anything by being kicked from one category to another. So use your best judgment when you're entering, or contact us ahead of time at that email address to ask specifically about the categories that we suggest. But ultimately, it's the judges who will decide. Some other notes about eligibility, and this is where things get a little bit tricky for some folks. So media, art, performance, and a writing that adapts or is inspired by Poe's life and works. These are the kind of rough guidelines for eligible works, the kind of works that we're looking for the awards. There are no restrictions for medium or genre. So be as creative as you wonderful people are, and send us your pieces. We're very excited to see people sort of really break the boundary of what even we think is possible for Poe. We're really anxious to see that. Now, the only really strict guideline is time. Now, works that were released, printed, distributed, or first performed between January 1, 2018 and December 31, 2020. That is the previous 3 years. That is the window of eligibility that we're looking for. If you fall outside this window, something created in 2017 or distributed in 2017, unfortunately, unless it has been edited significantly, changed significantly, and redistributed and performed again, unfortunately would no longer be eligible. Also, anything created anything created this past weekend won't count anymore. You're going to want to wait until next year for the 2022 award. So we're again looking for that eligibility between January 1, 2018 and December 31, 2020. I will say that reprinted or re-released materials are discouraged. The onus is on the creator to show the judges that a piece created outside of this window of eligibility, but recreated or sort of re-edited or reprinted, there has to be some sort of material change in the piece to warrant the sort of new eligibility, and it will be up to the creator to prove that to the judges, and the judges will have a final say about whether or not the piece is eligible. So enter at your own risk if the piece was created before this time. A work may be nominated in more than 1 year. So any of our nominees from the previous years can enter that piece, but a winning entry may not be entered again. Once you've won, you're a winner for all time. And that's the end of the road. So tonight, want to show a couple of questions that we are going to be in the entry form. We haven't talked about this yet during our sessions here. So if there are any questions as I'm talking or as things come up, please feel free to send those comments in the chat. We'll see them here live. Want to answer what we can for you. Or that if you're a little bit shy, you can wait and email those to us. But in the entry form, one of the things we want to talk about over my head here, you will be asked to give a description or synopsis of the work, your best description, promotional description of the piece. Now, it's important to note here when you're talking to the judges, it's really kind of funny to see this thing over my head here, but you want to note size, dimensions, duration, or any site-specific or process details that might not be readily available in the material that you're asked to submit with your entry form. Obviously, the judges can't be in the room with you if you've created a process piece or immersive theater, this kind of thing. And so this is the question, to sort of really show the judges or really tell the judges what they won't readily see immediately. So you want to be as descriptive as possible, and you're given a lot of room in the entry form to really describe your piece to the best of your ability and tell the judges what they can't immediately see. Another thing, you will be asked for long form entries. And what I mean by this is films, novels, scripts, or series. We have a three-person slate per category in our judges. So 3 people per category looking at all of the pieces that are submitted. So we ask that everybody who submits any long form entries, such as your films, novels, scripts, or any other series, please highlight a segment. You'll be asked to enter the entire piece for consideration. However, we ask you to highlight a specific section, maximum 10,000 words, or a timestamp showing a maximum of 20-minute duration. That really gives the best highlight of that piece. Now, if you don't want to give us a segment, the judges will default to the first 10,000 words or the first 20 minutes of your entry. So if there's a specific piece that you want the judges to see at first glance, at the first round of judging, that is the piece to highlight for them. And then if the piece makes it to the next round, then the judges have the opportunity to look at the rest of the piece in its entirety. But the reason we do this is because, again, only 3 judges per category, and we only give them a month to make that decision in the first round. So we want to make it as easy on the judges as possible. So really think, if you have this a longer piece, we want to think about that. I did get a wonderful question a little ways back about for perhaps a series has been going on for a while. You've got a number of pieces in a long series, but your series has been going on longer than 3 years. Your segment, the segment that you choose, the segment that you give us for consideration has to have been distributed, produced within the 3-year eligibility. And you want to show the judges that the piece that you're talking about was produced within the period of eligibility. And then you want to make sure that is absolutely clear, because the judges will not be able to look at anything outside the years of eligibility, will only be able to look at the body of work that falls within that period of eligibility. If there are any questions about that, I'm here to answer. Finally, you will be asked to give a statement. And this is where we ask you to really draw a direct line from Poe's work to your work, and really show judges why this piece is inspired by Poe, and talk about its connection to Poe, how the work continues Poe's legacy by adapting his life or works, or contributing to his continued presence in popular culture. So if there are any questions about that, our producers were kind enough to flash the email up there. You want to send an email to contact@poefestinternational.org. But these are probably the 3 most important questions that you'll be asked in the entry form when you submit your pieces, when call for entries open on January 19th. Finally, we do charge a fee to enter the Saturday Visitor Awards. It is $25, and at the end of your entry form, you will have to acknowledge that you know that there is a fee, and your piece will not, unfortunately, be able to be looked at until the fee is paid. So it's the final bit to share there. So I feel like I have so much more room now in the window. I am here if there are any questions this evening. Some people might be a little too tired from all the festivities and celebrating over the weekend, so I understand if we're a little bit quiet this evening. I see some folks that I know here. Hey, Liam, and he was sending out his congratulations to Peter James Billings for his piece. Any questions we have tonight, I am here for you, or send us an email at contact@poefestinternational.org. And once more, I'm going to show these dates to remember. Call for entries will open Poe's birthday. All right. Well, our final plug for the evening, do keep Poe Baltimore in mind. Poe Baltimore is the nonprofit organization that stewards the Edgar Allan Poe House and Museum in Baltimore, as well as this International Edgar Allan Poe Festival and Awards, as well as the Saturday Visitor Award. So please help us keep Poe's chamber door open. Make a donation to Poe Baltimore. Text Poe Baltimore to 44321 to donate. And connect with us, please. On Facebook, PoeFest International, Twitter, PoeFest International, Poe Baltimore on Instagram, and Poe Baltimore on YouTube. And if you're interested in seeing any of the other interviews that we have so far in the series, all of them are available on YouTube and in our Facebook video library here. And then join us next Monday for the next video in this series as we get closer to our call for entries. All right, well, Happy New Year, everyone. Please keep us in mind for any travel plans, limited travel plans. Nobody go anywhere, but we do have virtual tours that we offer every week at Poe House, and we'll be welcoming some more tour guides this year to do more tours of Poe's Baltimore. A few more announcements as the year goes on here. But all right, well, have a wonderful evening, everyone. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you next week.